All right, so welcome everybody to the free workshop, the number one way to start working from home. So in this workshop, I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to start working as a virtual assistant so that you can be profitable, have a stable income that really just allows you to be home and spend as much time with your kiddos as you want while still providing an income for your family. So just a little bit of housekeeping. If you're watching this live, feel free to drop any comments you have, any questions. I will actually have some questions I'm asking you that I want you to drop your answers for. So if you're listening to the replay, either on YouTube or the podcast, come into our free Facebook community. That's facebook.com/groups/virtual assistant mama. And in there, you can comment and answer the questions that I'm going to be asking throughout this workshop, and you'll be gaining entries into our giveaway, which I'll be talking about at the end. But every question you answer that I give to you today will get you an entry into the giveaway. So answer them all, you're going to get a lot of entries. All right. So also, if you ask any questions throughout, like if you're commenting while watching live, I will go back and answer your questions at the end of the workshop, like once I'm off the live. That way I'm being respectful of everybody's time and not like keeping you all on and just making it take forever. I know you're busy moms, busy wives, just busy women in general. So I want to be really conscious and respectful of your time. All right, so let's just go ahead and dive on in. Oh. So this workshop is for you if it is on your heart to leave your 9 to 5. I know we probably have a lot of teachers in here because I was a teacher, and so teachers, I connect with them a lot. But even if you're not a teacher, you are more than welcome here. And if you just have that desire to no longer be restricted to going into an office somewhere or just having a certain set of hours that you are expected to work for a capped income, you are in the right place. You are welcome here. This is also for you if you just have that desire to make money from home. You want to be able to be a present mom with your kiddos, have a job that works around your life and your kids' lives, and not the other way around. This is also for you if you just really know that there's something else out there for you, but you're not sure what it is. I think that this workshop is going to answer a lot of your questions about whether this is possible for you. I know that it is, and you just have to have that belief too. So during this workshop, you're going to learn the 5 Ps that you need to know in order to become a successful virtual assistant so that you can start working from home. So welcome. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Ariana. I quit teaching when I had my daughter, and I replaced my full-time teaching income as a virtual assistant in just 6 months. And I'm going to be teaching you how to do the same. So a few quick fun facts about me. On the virtual assistant side of my business, I'm a website and branding designer. That's just the services that I decided to specialize in. But as a virtual assistant, you get to pick what sounds fun to you. So we'll be going through all of the services you get to choose from, and I'll help you figure out exactly how you can decide what's right for you. I am a Michigander at heart, grew up in Michigan, currently living in Ohio with my daughter, my son, my college sweetheart of a husband, 3 cats, and a German Shepherd. So life's a little bit crazy all the time, but we like it that way. So I was a teacher for 3 years. I taught first grade for 1 year, kindergarten for 2. And while I absolutely loved my students, I did not love all of the other expectations that are placed on teachers' shoulders. I would just come home and have so much work still on my plate that I needed to do in the evenings when I was supposed to be spending time with my husband. We didn't have kids at this point, and I knew that I wasn't meant to do teaching forever. Like, I grew up thinking I was going to be a teacher forever, but once I actually got in, I was like, this is not going to work, because once we actually have kids, I cannot be this exhausted and this burnt out every single day. Raise your hand, drop a raising hand emoji in the comments if you agree with that. Even if you're not a teacher, just if you feel like that with your 9 to 5 as well, drop that emoji. So my last year teaching, I got pregnant, and I just really dreamed of staying home with my daughter. I wanted to be present for all of her first, but my husband and I talked about, we still needed my income to be able to hit the goals that we wanted to hit. We wanted to pay off all our student loans. We wanted to be able to travel and just do all the fun things that you're meant to do in your life. And so, but it was still really an important dream of mine to be home, at least for my daughter's first year of her life. So the plan was I was going to take the first year of her life off of teaching, and I was either going to like nanny or do grocery delivery, something where I could take my daughter with me, but still supplement my income like a little bit. But then we intended for me to go back to teaching after that first year was up. But God has different plans. It's amazing how things work out, because the day that I went into labor, I found out about the virtual assistant world. And I was like, what is this? Because is this like direct sales? Because I tried that before. I did that for 3 years when I was in college, and I never made much money at all. So I was like, I'm not looking for that. I want something that's like actually mine, that I have control over, that I can work with people that I love. What is this? And when I dove in, I just realized it checked all of those boxes that I had been looking for. And I was like, I am in. So I dove right in as soon as I had my daughter. Like every time she was asleep or I just had an extra minute, I was learning everything I could about becoming a virtual assistant. I very quickly, within a month, I landed my first client. Within 2 months, I was making $1,500 a month in income. And within 6 months, I had completely replaced my teaching income. That was with my newborn daughter, usually napping on the couch right next to me while I was working for my clients, and being able to take days off whenever I wanted to spend more time with her, I could do that, work my schedule around her needs. If we didn't sleep great the night before, that was okay. I just shifted my schedule around. And now I completely replace and even exceed my teaching income working a maximum of 20 hours a week. So I want you to just think about for a second, how would that feel if you only had to work a max of 20 hours a week? How would that feel? Totally possible. So becoming a virtual assistant was actually so much more simple than I expected. And the not so secret is that you can absolutely do this too. So I'm going to be walking you through the 5 P's that you need to know and to have in place in order to become a profitable virtual assistant. The first P of becoming a virtual assistant is positioning. So before we do anything else, we have to determine what type of virtual assistant we want to position ourselves as. Now, there are seriously over 100 different services you can offer as a virtual assistant. I've got them broken up into categories for y'all, but I just want you to understand if something's in this category that you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. You can pick what services sound fun to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through them real quick. The administrative virtual assistant, they're typically like the services that a secretary would do. That's what an admin VA would do. So they can do things like calendar organization, billing and invoicing, research, creating forms and spreadsheets, purchasing office supplies, scheduling appointments, bookkeeping. They do things like booking travel, buying gifts for their clients, anything like that would be an admin VA. A lot of people, when they first start in the virtual assistant world, they tend to go this route just because it seems like the easiest to learn. The next category is social media management, which is another really popular category because we're all pretty familiar with social media at this point. So it's kind of easy to step into offering that service. So as a social media manager, you can do things like manage Facebook groups, Facebook business pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You can create and find graphics, write the posts, schedule content, respond to comments and messages, do hashtag research. All of that falls into social media management. As a social media manager, you also get to pick what platforms you want to specialize in. So if you just want to be a TikTok social media manager, you can absolutely do that. And that's a very profitable area to go into right now because TikTok is huge. So yeah, that is all the things that a social media manager can do. The next category is copywriting. Now, this isn't like copywriting infringement. It was confusing when I first learned about it. So I wanted to clarify that for y'all. A copywriter is anyone who writes anything in a business. So when you go to a business's website and you see like the written content on their website, that was done by a copywriter. You read a blog post, that was probably done by a copywriter. An email from a business, done by a copywriter. So it's any written content in a business. As a copywriter, you can help with things like proofreading, editing, writing blog posts, social media captions, email content, website content. You can even get paid to ghostwrite books for your clients. Like they would give you kind of the overview of what they want in the book, and you would kind of just put it all together and write it for them. So that's really cool. If you love to write, if you've always been just like obsessed with writing, copywriting is a great avenue to go in. Graphic design virtual assistants can help with things like creating social media graphics, logos, cover photos, flyers, website banners, postcards, workbooks, presentations, photo editing, newsletters. Seriously, so much. And it's so fun. It's not too hard to learn. I promise. You don't need things like Photoshop or InDesign or any of that. You can use a free program called Canva. Graphic design is a great avenue to go in. Did you know you can literally get paid to play on Pinterest? I dare you to say that 5 times fast. As a Pinterest manager, you help with things like creating pins, writing the captions, finding and joining group Pinterest boards, scheduling pins. All of that falls into Pinterest management. Any business that has like a blog or even like they have a podcast, they should be creating pins to get people to funnel over. Like when they click on the pin, it's going to take them to that blog or to that podcast or to that whatever, so that they can learn more about that business. And so businesses should be on Pinterest. It is a great platform for businesses, but so many are not utilizing it because they don't really know how. They just see it as like this beautiful, like almost like a search engine, and they don't know how to actually optimize it. It's not hard to learn, and it is seriously so fun. So you can absolutely be a Pinterest manager. A marketing virtual assistant does things like email marketing, building sales funnels, social media ads, webinar creation, which a webinar is just like what you're watching right now, workshop webinar. It's kind of the same term. They go hand in hand. They can also help with press releases, anything that gets a business like more exposure so that they can reach more people. That's what a marketing virtual assistant would help with. Technical virtual assistants can help with things like website design, app development, video editing, coding, podcast management. I do want to focus here for a moment. A lot of people think like, oh, I need like a degree. I need a ton of experience to be able to do website design. I need to know how to code from scratch. That is absolutely not the case. Like I said, I'm a website designer and I taught myself by watching YouTube videos. I started by building a site for myself to market my services. And then I was like, this is so fun, and just started offering it to clients. And now that is solely the only service that I offer. So most website programs nowadays are literally just like drag and drop in elements. You click a few buttons to like change the colors, input your text, drop in your photos, and you've got a beautiful site. So you don't need to know how to code from scratch. Another thing about this section, podcast management, again, people think like you got to just be amazing at editing audio and like have so many skills and like spent so much time learning this. It does not take a lot of time to learn. Most people record their podcasts with a free tool called Audacity. And it's really easy. You can download that tool, record yourself, and just like practice editing. And then you have the skills to start offering that as a service. So podcast management is another great area to go into. So many businesses are starting podcasts because they know they can reach more people and build that trust. Because when you're listening to a podcast, like you're building that trust in somebody. So businesses are wanting to start these, but they need help managing it. They don't have more time to dedicate to another thing. So they need someone to help with the actually like publishing of the episodes and editing and all that. And a podcast manager can absolutely help with that. A product and course creation virtual assistant can help with things like building, managing courses, making PowerPoint presentations for those courses, creating landing pages, and things like that. All right, so I know you might be thinking, Ariana, I do not know how to do any of these services. I don't feel qualified in any of these areas. Oh, and please do not worry, I've got your back. I just want you to know that before I started working as a virtual assistant, I had not done 90% of the services that I have now offered for my clients. Like I said to y'all, I taught kindergarten. I taught 5 and 6-year-olds how to stand in line, how to use a glue stick, how to use scissors, how to be kind. I didn't know how to do this, but I knew I had the ability to figure things out because as teachers and just women in general, like when we're given a task, we can like just take it and run with it and make it awesome. So I knew I could figure things out as I went. And I knew that there were businesses out there who were willing to hire beginners because they could maybe pay them a little less than an expert. Maybe if they were a beginning business themselves, they would be willing to train me in that service. Maybe they had done it for themselves prior, but just wanted to like have somebody else do it for them now. So they could just train me on how to do it. That was how I found my first clients, and that is how you can find your first clients. Okay. So I don't want you to stress about that. And just a heads up, I can absolutely teach you how to do whatever service you choose. Like I said, I've done so many of those services I just went through, and I can absolutely help you learn how. So don't worry, I've got your back. So real quick, I just want you to take a moment to share in the comments on the workshop, what service or services do you feel confident offering right off the bat? Then I also want you to answer the question, what service would you love to learn how to do? I ask this because I don't want you to just pick a service you're comfortable with, but that doesn't light you up. Because if you're not happy in your 9 to 5, and then you pick a virtual assistant service that isn't that interesting to you, you might find yourself in the same spot of like, I'm not loving what I'm doing. So I want you to make sure you're picking a service that sounds like it could be really fun to you, because you can absolutely figure it out and you should chase that dream. Okay. So make sure you're answering the questions. Even if you're watching the replay, come into the Facebook group and find the workshop. It'll be up in there, I promise, for a while. And just comment with your answers. We will be doing the giveaway tomorrow. And again, I'll be talking about what the giveaway is at the end of this workshop. So while y'all are typing your responses, I'm just going to check the comments real quick, make sure everybody can hear me okay. Okay. Looks like we're still good. Cool. All right. The second P of becoming a virtual assistant is your packaging. So we have to list out our services in a way that's going to allow our clients to understand exactly what they're getting from us. So I typically recommend creating 3 different package options. So you want to kind of start with like a basic package and then add each one and then each one above that will have like additional items. So in each package, you're going to list out exactly what your client's going to get. So if you think about it, like your typical bronze, silver, gold packages, like the gold would be the most services and therefore the most expensive. Bronze would be the least amount of services and therefore the least amount or the least cost. And then the silver would be in the middle. So for example, if you were wanting to do social media management, your smallest package might be like 3 social media posts a week, 30 minutes of hashtag research a month, 30 minutes of responding to comments and messages for your clients a month or a week, a 30-minute meeting, couldn't think of the word, a 30-minute meeting with your client each month to like plan out strategy. And that would be your smallest package. So then the middle package you would add to that. So if the smallest package was 3 posts a week, the middle package could be like 4 posts a week, maybe 40 minutes of engagement a month, things like that. You just build on it. And then the biggest package could be like 5 to 6 posts a week, an hour-long meeting with your client to strategize what the posts are going to be, an hour a week on engagement. As you can see, like they'll just build on each other. And hot tip right here, put your biggest package first, because people are going to read that and be like, oh, yes, I want all of this. And then they're going to see the next package is cheaper, but it doesn't have some of the things they first read. And they're going to be like, wait, I I want those things though. And so they're more likely to go with your biggest package if that's what they like read first and they're like, yeah, I want that. All right, so the third P of becoming a virtual assistant is pricing. Hopefully y'all can't hear the rain too much in the background. It's raining pretty hard, but I think we're fine. So I know that you guys have so many questions probably about pricing. This is one of the biggest questions I get. So we want to be making sure that we have a clear breakdown of pricing for our packages. You want to be clear and concise upfront because sometimes virtual assistants I see, they don't list their prices with their packages and they're just hoping to get a potential client on a call and then tell them the pricing. And that's actually adding more work to your plate because if you're getting somebody on a call and then they can't afford what you're charging, well, you just wasted your time. Okay. So I encourage you to have your pricing up front. That way you're not wasting your time. You're getting clients who can actually afford you. They're not wanting to pay you pennies. This is just one of my biggest tips. Make sure you have your packaging up front, out in the open. So did you know that virtual assistants can make anywhere from $30 an hour to $100 an hour or more? It is absolutely possible. And it does not take a whole lot of time to get to that higher end. Seriously, I think I started out actually $25 an hour. But with inflation, I recommend starting at like 30 now. And I'm now above the $100 an hour mark. Okay. So that just goes to show you it is totally possible. Even without a degree, you can absolutely do that. But a little bit of a spoiler alert. You do not want to work with every single person just because they are offering you money. Similar to how I don't want you to pick a service that you don't love because then you might find yourself like not wanting to do this anymore. I don't want you to work with someone just because they want to pay you. If you see red flags and you just decide to brush them aside and go forward and work with this potential client, that might end up biting you in the butt, to be honest. Take this from somebody who did not listen to her own advice. I had a client who gave some red flags in the interview call, and I was just like, nope, I'm just going to move forward. I think it's going to be fine. I'll work with her. And she ended up just being so much extra work for me. First of all, I charged way less than I needed to. And she would always just come back with these extra things that she said she asked for, but she actually didn't. And like, I had proof of that. But anyway, and she just like drained so much energy from me, but I was scared to quote unquote fire her as a client because I didn't want to lose her income. But in reality, all of the time that I was just stressing over her and like trying to make her happy, I could have been making more if I had let her go and found clients who were a good fit. So you want to make sure that you are finding clients that you would love to work with and who make you want to jump out of bed every single day to serve them and their business. I want you to think about who is my dream client. Now, this might start out more broad in the beginning, and that's totally okay. But maybe you just want to work with like a business owner who's a mom because I'm a mom and they're going to understand me. They're going to understand I might have kids in the background during our client meetings. I want to work with someone who's a mom. Maybe you want to work with a business who serves children in some way. Maybe you're a teacher and you just really still want to be able to impact children. So maybe you want to work with businesses who also help children. So just think about who would I just be so excited to help in their business. Again, it can start out more broad, but it should get more narrow over time so that you can really speak to that potential client's pain points of what like their actual struggles are in their business and start attracting them to you just because you're actually speaking to what they need help with. Okay. All right. So there are two different types of pricing options that you can choose from. The first one is hourly pricing. So typically new virtual assistants will charge hourly and then they keep track of their hours that they've worked with a time tracking tool, something like Toggl, Toggl, no E. And with that program, you just like go in, you type in, I don't know, your client's name, what you're doing for them, you start the timer, you work, When you're done working, you end the timer, and that just allows you to keep track of your time, making sure you're not spending more time on something, because if you are spending more time than they paid you for, you need to be asking for more compensation. And sometimes your clients, if you're tracking hours, they want to actually like see that report of like what you worked on, what you spent that time on. And so you can actually like send them that report at the end of the week or whatever. However, as you get better at the service that you choose to offer, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, because when you charge hourly, as you get more experience, you're becoming faster at your job, and that means you're doing more work for the same amount of money. So what I really recommend you get into quickly is package pricing. So as you get more experience, it's really best to move to that package model, because you're going to be able to essentially charge an additional fee for being skilled in that service. This also has an added bonus that you no longer have to track your time, which does get a little bit tedious. So with package pricing, you simply start with an estimate of how long the service is going to take you, just like you would have done for hourly. But then you add an additional amount on top of that for your experience, basically. Okay. So I just want you to think of like anybody you might hire to come into your home, like a plumber. If they're coming to fix something, they're most likely not charging you hourly. Okay. They're most likely charging you a set fee that they have, and that's based on, yeah, their estimate of how long it's going to take them, but it's also based on their experience and their ability to get the job done well. Okay. So that's what you want to think about with package pricing. All right, the fourth P of becoming a virtual assistant is your portfolio. So we need to showcase our packages and our pricing in a really clean, eye-catching design that's going to help us look more professional and stand out among the crowd. My favorite tool for this is Canva, Canva. It's a free program. They do have a paid version. You don't need that. The free version has everything you need, okay? So with the portfolio, it's a PDF portfolio that you can send to people, email to them, message to them, whatever. And it has a couple different pages. So page 1, you're going to have a little blurb about how you can serve your potential clients, what you help them with, what you take off their plate, a little brief bio about you, just so that they can connect with you further. You're going to have the information for how they can connect with you. So your email, your social media handles, not your phone number. We don't share our personal phone number because we want to be able to turn work off when we need to. So maybe if you want to be able to communicate with your clients easier, you could get an app like Voxer, Voxer, and that will allow you to communicate with your clients, but then also like mute the app when you're not working. So no phone number. Just want to make that clear. But yeah, you want to have the information for how they can connect with you easily on the first page of your portfolio, a list, like a bulleted list of the skills that you can help them with, and then also a professional photo. Now you don't need to go like pay to have headshots done. Just have your spouse or a friend take a photo of you in a nice top with your hair done, a little bit of makeup on, standing in front of like a white wall, something like simple background, and then just post that in your portfolio. Don't do a selfie. If you have a tripod, you could use the tripod or just have somebody help you take the picture. Page 2 is where you're going to have your package options listed out, including the title of your packages, line item list of the services, and then the pricing underneath. I do also recommend adding a separate box underneath the packages that tells your potential clients that you can create a custom package for them, because maybe if you only have 3 package options, maybe they need most of the stuff, but they don't need this, or maybe they need your biggest package, but they also need this, this, and this. So you just want them to know that you can tweak things based on what their needs are. All right, the third page of the portfolio is kind of optional, but kind of not. You can definitely have this stuff right from the beginning. So on page 3, you're going to have testimonials. Now, if you have not been a virtual assistant before, which if you're watching this, you probably haven't, you might not have testimonials from virtual assistant clients, but I'm willing to bet you've worked with somebody in the past, whether it's a coworker or a boss that you just really love and trust, like a former boss. You can go and ask them to just like type out a quick paragraph about your work ethic, about how you work with people, about your ability to get projects done and things like that. So you can have that in your portfolio. Then you can also, for sample work, you may not have done the service you want to offer before, but you can kind of create like a fictitious client in your head. For example, if I was just thinking right off the top of my head, a wedding-based business, I could go and create a couple social media graphics for a wedding-based business and put those in my portfolio. Your potential clients don't need to know that work, those graphics or whatever you created, was done for a fictitious client. They just want to see that you have the skills to do whatever service you're offering. So you can just make up a fake client, do some work for them, put that in there, and they just want to see that you can do whatever they're hiring you to do. Okay, so you can absolutely have sample work right up front. All right, page 4 of the portfolio is where you're going to put the next steps of how they can reach out to you, set up a time to chat with you, and see if y'all are going to be a good fit. So what do you want them to do? Want them to click on your calendar link and book a time that works for them? Do you want them to shoot you an email? Like, how do you want them to move forward in the process of connecting with you and hopefully hiring you? All right, so the 5th P of becoming a virtual assistant is to put yourself out there. Once you have your portfolio, you have your packages in there, your pricing, everything's all done, you are ready to go out and land those clients. Now, you're probably thinking, this sounds good and everything, but where am I actually going to find those clients? I want to share my top 3 places for you to go and find paying clients. Number 1, where I found 90% of my virtual assistant clients, where so many of my students have found their virtual assistant clients, is business or entrepreneur Facebook groups. There are so many of these groups out there where business owners are coming in, asking for help with a service. They don't know how to do it, or they've done it before and they just don't want to do it anymore. They want somebody else to take it over. They're coming and posting. Literally hundreds of these people are coming into these groups every day, posting job opportunities, and you can just go in and see what sounds good to you, even if you don't fully understand, even if you've never done it before and it just sounds fun. I always encourage you to reach out and apply, because again, you never know what business owner is going to be willing to hire a beginner. There are so many out there. They're willing to train you. That's how everybody lands their first client. So I promise you, there are people out there who will hire you when you don't have experience. A whole lot of the hiring process is based on how your potential client connects with you, how you guys interact together when you're chatting with them before they hire you. They just want to know that you're going to serve their business like they would. Their business is their baby, and they just want to know that whoever they hire is going to treat their business like it's their own baby. Okay, so they just want to know that you care and that you are willing to help. Okay, the experience, sometimes they want an expert, and that's okay. That client's not for you in the beginning, but again, there are just so many businesses out there who are willing to hire beginners. So I just want to encourage you with that. Again, there's so many different business Facebook groups out there. Some of my favorites, just off the top of my head: Boss Moms, Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs, Successful Female Entrepreneurs, I think is my third favorite. Successful Female something, I think that's what it is. But yeah, I encourage you to go check out those groups, see what the posts are. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand some of the terms that they're talking about, some of the different programs they're talking about. You can literally Google those programs and watch their tutorial videos and learn how to use them. Just start exploring and see what sounds fun to you. All right, the second place that is really great to find potential clients is Instagram. Now, this is kind of more if you like want to be a social media manager, but even if not, you can create like a business Instagram or even just use your personal one. That's what I did. I just started using my personal one and kind of started converting to business and now kind of do a mix of the two. And so you can go in there and start posting a couple posts a week just of like how you can help people and use hashtags that your potential clients, your dream client might be using. You can also go into those hashtags, like click on that hashtag, go and see the other posts that are posted that use that hashtag, click on that post, and then you can start making connections with the businesses that did that post. So now we're not like cold pitching, we don't do that. But you can just like start building these relationships, start networking, start giving free value. You can just start by like commenting on their posts, something you loved about it. You can respond to their stories and just like give like your 2 cents or whatever. Just start building that connection with them with the goal. Hopefully they're gonna be like, oh, this person's like interacting me with a lot. What do they do? And so then they'll click on your profile, see what services you offer, and be like, oh, I need help with that. I'm gonna hire her. Okay. So totally possible to land clients with Instagram. Another really great place to land potential clients is LinkedIn. Now, this is kind of more for like bigger businesses. So if you're wanting to work with like that solopreneur or just that like mom-owned small business, LinkedIn's probably not the spot for that. And LinkedIn tends to be a little bit more structured of a job. Like, yeah, it's work from home, but it might have set hours or just like more set expectations. So if you don't want that, you can still explore LinkedIn because there are some opportunities that are like smaller and like more flexible, but they do tend to have more bigger businesses and a little bit more structure to what they're looking for. But again, that is a great place to go. Now, there are a couple places I want to mention that I don't recommend looking for clients, and those are Fiverr and Upwork. Those are freelancing sites where people like post that they're looking for help, and then you can go and apply. But the problem with it is you have to pay to apply, which is silly, and they do not charge. Like most of the people on those sites that are offering their services do not charge enough. And they might be in a country where their cost of living is way less. And so they're charging way less than $30 an hour. And so I just do not recommend those sites. None of my students have been successful on those sites. I haven't. Just stick with these. You can also try TikTok. There are so many different ways. You can try our warm market, like people you know who have businesses. And you can go out into your community and connect with businesses. There are seriously so many ways that you can find clients without using Fiverr or Upwork or any of sites like that. And I don't want you to worry because inside my program, I give you my exact system to find new clients with no stress, no weird sales tactics, and no pressure. So I promise you, getting clients is going to be faster and easier than you think. So I want you to just imagine for a moment, and I want you to drop your answers to these statements in the comments. Again, you're going to earn entries into the giveaway, so please do it. And imagine you've quit your 9 to 5 and you're now working blank hours a week as a virtual assistant. How many hours are you working a week? You are so fulfilled because you're helping your client with or do. What are you helping them do? You can't believe you landed this dream client because blank. What's it going to allow you to do in your life? Let me just pause for a moment while y'all are answering just to make sure. Just to make sure everybody's still hearing me okay. Okay. Real quick, I just want to cover the top 3 mistakes that I see a lot of new virtual assistants make so you can avoid them and save yourself time, money, energy, all the things. So the first mistake that I see a lot of virtual assistants make is that they don't understand how to pitch themselves effectively. I see a lot of people going into these business Facebook groups, seeing a post they want to apply to, and they just comment and say, "Hey, I'm interested, message me." Well, that doesn't really tell your potential client how they can connect with you, or like what you can even help them with. And that's making them do the work to chase you down. You should be the one doing the work to connect with them. So I always recommend, when you see a job posting in a Facebook group or wherever that's interesting to you, go click on that person's account. See in their like little about section under their profile photo, see if it lists like where they work. If you can click on that, go to their Facebook business page. Or the best option, if they have their website listed, go to their website, look at their about page, learn about their business, learn why they started it, what they do. Read a blog post if they have one, listen to a podcast episode, because then when you apply to that position, you can mention whatever you learned about their business, and that shows them that you did a little bit of digging, a little bit of homework, and you are already showing that you care. Okay, so that's going to set you apart from everybody else who's just saying, "Hey, I would love to help you with that. Message me." Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox about that because that drives me nuts. All right, the second big mistake that new virtual assistants make is that they don't get paid up front and they don't have a contract in place to protect them. I see a lot of times virtual assistants who work with a client, do the project for them, and then they send the invoice at the end and the client ghosts them. That's not okay. We get paid up front before we do any work for a client. We get paid up front. Okay. Now, the only time I adjust that statement is if you're doing like a really big package for them, something like website design. Like I get a 50% deposit from my clients up front, but then the remaining 50% I get halfway through the project, not at the end, halfway through. Okay. So you can do that option if it's a really big package, but definitely get paid up front, 100%. If not, do 50-50, but never at the end. Okay. I don't want you to get ghosted. I don't want you to do work for nothing. Also, let me go back. The contract. You do want to have a contract in place to protect you. I've never needed mine. None of my students have like ever needed theirs like legally or anything, but you do want to have that in place just to protect you in case you ever needed it. And it does set the expectations for your clients of what they can expect from you, what they paid for, what exactly they're getting. That way, if they start to like add on this and this and this and this without paying you more, you can say, "Hey, according to the contract, this is what you hired me for. This was the agreed upon amount. If you want to add these things, then this would be the additional amount. Let me know when you're ready for that invoice for the additional amount." Okay. So it just sets those boundaries in place for you so your clients don't start overstepping. The third big mistake that I see new virtual assistants make is that they're trying to learn all of this on their own. It is possible to DIY your virtual assistant business, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to waste time. You're going to waste money. And you're just probably going to hit a roadblock that might make you quit before you ever saw success. It's like that with anything new. If you hit a mountain, you don't know what's on the other side of that mountain. Like, what if something amazing's on the other side, but you stopped at the mountain, at the base? Okay. What if the most beautiful, luscious valley was on the other side of that mountain, but you just stopped? And maybe that mountain was only 10 feet tall, but you were at the bottom like, this looks giant. Okay. So I don't want you to hit a roadblock and not know how to move forward. I want you to have support, to have someone you can go to who will answer your questions, who will help you get past that roadblock as fast as possible so you can keep moving, keep working towards your goals of replacing your income, keep working towards your goals of being home with your babies. It is absolutely possible for you to do this. I highly recommend having a support system for doing it, though. You do not have to make any of these mistakes. You can thank me later. Just kidding. What if I could hand you 10 steps to go from burnt out working mama to virtual assistant with clients who value you, who respect you, and who pay you well. How would that feel? This 10-step framework is for you if you wish you could stay home with your babies instead of spending 3/4 of your day stuck at your job. It's for you if you wish you could take a day off without having to ask for permission, or if you're a teacher, you wouldn't have to write sub-plans because we all hate those. This is for you if you wish you could afford to take that dream vacation to the beach with your husband or to Disney with your family. It's for you if you wish someone would appreciate you for all that you do in your job. And this is for you if you wish that your income potential was limitless. This is totally possible for you. I want you to imagine for a moment. Close your eyes. Don't worry, I can't see you. Nobody can see you, so just close your eyes. And imagine you see yourself on your couch with your laptop in your hand, little babies crawling at your feet while you knock out some work for one of your clients. You feel so much happiness and excitement knowing that you're providing another income stream for your family while spending your days watching your kiddos grow up. You get to take those dream family vacations and even pay off all of that debt. Finally, soak that in for a second. Drop in the comments. How does that make you feel? Limitless, amazing, able to be the present mom I've always wanted to be. How does it make you feel? You can have this. And I absolutely promise you can have this. Introducing the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. This is everything you need to build your virtual assistant business from scratch. Inside this program, you get trainings, templates, weekly office hours, accountability, tech tutorials, pricing help, contract templates, and so much more. In the program, you're going to get lifetime access to all 10 modules with additional bonuses added over time. You get video lessons that help you gain clarity and give you actionable and tactical steps to help you become a successful virtual assistant. Now, these are bite-sized videos. They're not hours long. It's not going to take you forever to get through this program. I'll get you in and out, teach you exactly what you need to know, and then let you move on so that you can spend your time where it really matters with your family. I want you in and out, learning what you need to do and able to move on. We also have templates to help you create your portfolio. I literally have a drag and drop portfolio for you where you just like drag in your information and bam, you're done. 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, and you are done with your portfolio. That is in this program. Same thing with the contract. You go in and you swap out your basic information, bam, it's done. We've also got templates for pitching to jobs where you can just like copy and paste that template to apply. So you can apply for jobs in less than 5 minutes, okay? And way more templates than I'm even mentioning here. You also, one of my favorite parts, you get access to the private student community for Virtual Assistant Mama Academy students. And in there, you get the ongoing support. Any questions that you have, you post them in there, and my students will tell you, like, I'm in there answering questions so fast all the time because, again, I don't want you stuck at that roadblock. I want you able to get your question answered and move on. We also have weekly office hours where you can submit your questions, and I'll help you with them anytime you need it. Real quick, I just want to go through what's included in the 10 different modules. So step 1 is envisioning success. This is where we're going to work on mindset strategies for your new business, because when you come up against that imposter syndrome or that feeling of who am I to do this? Who's actually going to pay me for this? That's imposter syndrome. And I don't want you to get stuck in that thought process and give up. I want to give you some strategies to help you move past that and push on. We also will establish your why and create a vision board, which will help you on those days where it's like a little bit harder and you're not sure why you're trying to do this. You have that why front and center, knowing exactly why you're doing this. And then I also help you backwards design towards your goals. So if you're a teacher, you're probably familiar with this term. in teaching, we have like a test our students need to take. We have to figure out how to backwards design to figure out what we need to teach our kids to get them to the point of being able to master that content. So we're going to do the same thing with your goals. Most people, their goal is to replace their income. So we're going to figure out what that amount is, and then we're going to backwards design and figure out, okay, how many clients do I need to get to that point, and what steps can I take along the way to be able to hit that goal by the deadline I've set for myself. Step 2 is your business foundation. So I'm going to help you get your business legal, give you the free tools that you need to get your virtual assistant business started, because I don't want you spending $10 million in all these different programs that you don't really need. I'm going to give you the free ones so you can save that money. I'm also going to teach you how to track your income and your taxes. I've got a whole document with virtual assistant terms broken down for you, what they mean. That way, when you see a job post that you're like, I'm not really sure what that means, you can refer to that document, and that'll help you kind of understand what they're actually asking for. I also have a training teaching you time blocking and workflows. That way, you're not wasting any time ever. When you have your time blocks and your workflows in place, you know exactly when you have to work on your business throughout the week. And when you sit down to work, you know exactly what you're working on. You're not sitting down like, what am I supposed to do today? I don't really know, and wasting time. We're not wasting time here, okay? Now, becoming a virtual assistant, you can absolutely do this as a side hustle. You can absolutely do 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week. It is, if you have more time, it's going to build faster, obviously, but you can do it with any time you need. And that doesn't have to be sitting down for 5 hours straight. If you just have 30 minutes here, 15 minutes here, nap time, once your kids go to bed, you can absolutely do this. And the time blocking and workflows training is going to help you figure out where you're going to work again and what you're going to do when you're working. Step 3 is helping you determine your services, how to teach yourself new skills. If you picked a service that lights you up, hopefully, but you're not really sure how to do it, I'm going to teach you how to teach yourself those new skills, how to package your services so that they're really clear and concise for your potential clients, how to set your prices, and also a whole pricing guide to help you with that even more. Step number 4 is figuring out who you would love to work with. So we're going to identify your dream client and then where to find and attract that dream client. Step number 5 is building your brand and your portfolio so you can look super professional. So I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of Canva, which again is that free graphic design program. That's where our portfolio template is that I give you in this program. So I walk you through exactly what you need to do to customize that for yourself. I also have a branded email signature that I walk you through how to customize. That way you can look even more professional. Step number 6 is finding clients. So I teach you the top 8 places to find clients, give you a whole list of Facebook groups that you can go and look in, and a whole bunch of other places as well. I teach you the art of networking, how to build relationships with people so they'll start referring clients to you, and just you'll build that community of people who are willing to help you grow your business. How to pitch yourself effectively. No, hey, I'm interested, message me. Not doing that. I also help you identify red flags in potential clients so you're not wasting your time or working with someone who's not a good fit. How to tell which jobs are scams, because unfortunately there are some out there, so I'm going to help you avoid those entirely. And then how to focus on money-making activities, because when you sit down to work, I don't want you doing things that are not going to actually help you make income. I want you to do tasks that are going to help you land that next client, or do work for your clients that are paying you. We're not wasting time on things that don't actually make us money. Step number 7 is landing that potential client. So rocking the interview call, which in the virtual assistant world, we call the discovery call. And that call is as much you interviewing your potential client to see if they're a good fit for you as it is them interviewing you. Okay, so I give you questions to ask your potential client to show up as kind of the expert in the call and not waiting for them to lead the call. You lead it, you show that you've got this, you can absolutely help them, and then here's how. And so I have like a whole thing to help you with that. I also teach you how to send proposals to your dream client. Like after you have the discovery call, you send them a proposal, which is kind of similar to a portfolio, but it just shows them packages specific to what they need, and then how the next steps are going to work. Then I also teach you the art of following up, because so many people don't follow up and they lose the client because of that. Our clients are probably busy moms, busy people. And so sometimes they just need a couple touch points with you before they're ready to move forward. And if you don't follow up, you might lose them and they might go with someone else who did. So following up is so important, and I teach you how to do that. Step number 8 is what to do when you've landed that first client. So how to send out your contract to make sure that gets signed, how to get paid, because that's super important, and then how to onboard your client, which onboarding is just like getting the information you need from them to be able to do whatever they hired you to do. So getting their login info, their brand colors, learning more about like their business's voice, like the terms that they would use or the terms that they wouldn't use, things like that would be part of the onboarding process. All right, step number 9, unit 9. This is probably one of the best units in the whole thing, and it's all the different virtual assistant service trainings. So remember before how I said if there's a service you want to offer, I probably got your back. I got your back here. So in this unit, I have a whole bunch of different trainings teaching you how to do different virtual assistant services. So I have a training teaching you how to do social media management, TikTok management which falls into social media management, but it's a little more specific. That's what I was looking for, specific. I have a whole training just focusing on TikTok management, organizational program management, how to be a Pinterest strategist, how to do email marketing for companies, podcast management, and so much more. So I've got your back. I can help you figure out the service that you want to learn. Last one, step number 10 is what to do with current clients. So how to turn clients into raving fans that are willing to pay you more and refer you to other people, how to get new clients from old clients, and also how to end your relationship with a client if it's no longer serving you, how to do that without burning bridges so that you don't have any issues with them. Real quick, I just want to share some amazing testimonies from some of the women in the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. And we're going to start with Andrea. She said, Ariana's program was better and more than I could have possibly imagined. VAMA, which she adds more to constantly, gave me all the tools to get started, learn what I needed to do, and what to do once I landed clients. This is not a sign up and you're on your own program. Ariana challenged me, supported me, and has literally helped me land the most amazing clients. She answers questions so quickly, and here we are almost a year later, and while I need less support, I still have access to her program. She still answers my questions I have and is still my go-to. Now, she's been in my program for 3 or 4 years now, and she's rocking it. She's home with her daughter. She's full-time working as a virtual assistant. She's just rocking it, and it is totally possible for you too. So I just wanted to show you this so that you can see yourself in her shoes. Same thing with Amber. She said, Ariana's program has truly been a life-changing experience for me. With the flexibility to work through it on my own time, I gained all the knowledge and skills I needed to launch a thriving virtual assistant business. Ariana's unwavering support and willingness to answer my questions and brainstorm ideas with me has been invaluable on my journey. Thanks to VAMA, I was able to transform from a burnt-out teacher to a successful virtual assistant in less than a year. I highly recommend this program to anyone who's even remotely considering becoming a virtual assistant. Trust me, you won't regret it. I just want to share as well a couple screenshots from our private student community. One of them said, I just left my teaching position to become a full-time VA. A lot of emotions, but mostly hope and excitement for the future. About to sign my biggest client to date, which will replace my teaching income. I have some thinking to do. I want to celebrate with y'all. I put in my resignation at school this week. I will be done in March. And at this point, I am booked out. Thank you, Ariana, for the mentorship and for always being in my corner. And above all, showing me it's possible. It is absolutely possible for y'all. I promise it is possible for y'all. Real quick, I also want to share some fast action bonuses I have just for y'all when you join this program. So bonus number one is you're going to save money. You can save $100 off of this program with the coupon code SAVE and gain access immediately. Like as soon as you hit that button, you are into the program. There's no waiting. This is valid for the first 10 people that join this launch. Okay. So if you want this, grab it fast. The second bonus is the Wow, What a Website template and video tutorial series, which is going to help you look even more professional for your dream clients. So I teach you how to do the portfolio, and that's typically what I recommend starting out with when you're first starting. But in the future, you're probably going to want a website. And so with this bonus, you have the exact steps you need to take to build that website. And if you're interested in offering website design as a service, you can learn with this bonus. Okay. So you've got that. And then the third bonus is the Land Your First Client Challenge. So with this challenge, you're going to get the accountability you need to land your first client and make back your investment ASAP. Now, all of these bonuses expire next Friday, October 6th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So they do have a time limit. You do have some time to consider it. But I highly recommend jumping in as quickly as possible, because if you want to save that $100, you got to be one of the first 10 to jump on in. So you can check it all out at virtualassistantmama.com, but I do have a few more things to share with you. This entire program, everything I just showed you, it is worth over $6,500. All the content, all the value, all of the resources, all of the time that's gone into this is worth that much. But right now, you can get it for one payment of $597, which is actually $497 with that $100 coupon if you grab that. 3 monthly payments of $227, $100 less if you grab that coupon. That would apply to the first payment. So the first payment would be $127, and then the remaining 2 would be $227. Okay. And then same thing for the 4 monthly payment plan option. Your first payment would be only $57. And then the remaining 3 payments would be $157. So you can literally join this program and learn everything you need to be a virtual assistant for $57 today. Like what? And actually, usually that coupon code, when I've done it in the past, I've never had it apply to that 4 monthly payment plan option. This is the only time I've done that, and I don't know if I'll do it again. So make sure you take advantage if that's going to be the best option for you. I wanted you to have different payment plan options, because some people, they just want to pay for it up front, save the most money, and not have to worry about it again. Some people just need that a little bit less each month, so that it's not so much coming out all at once. So you've got options. You can maybe, I don't know, do what you need to do to make this work. If this is a calling on your heart that you're like, yes, I want to do this, maybe you can put out some coffee for a month or 2 to save some money. Maybe you can sell a couple things around the house you no longer need. Like, what can you do that's going to allow you to chase these goals and invest in your dreams? Okay. So make sure that you take advantage of that fast action, or all the fast action bonuses, and save $100 before not the end of the day Sunday. I don't know why I put that before they're all taken. Again, that $100 savings is specific to the first 10 to join. So make sure you grab it. Now, you might be wondering, how long is it actually going to take me to quit my 9-to-5 for good? I know you probably have a lot of different questions. These are just some of the most popular ones I always get. And I want you to know that I do have a podcast called the Virtual Assistant Mama Podcast. And on there, we have over 200 episodes of free value for y'all answering these questions. Okay. So episode 147, we'll talk about how long it's going to take you. If you're worried about getting your spouse on board, helping them to understand what this is and them to believe that you can do it, totally understand, because my husband was the same way. So episode 149 is actually me interviewing my husband, like asking him his thoughts about like when I was first a virtual assistant, how he felt and how he was able to encourage me and me like build that trust in him to show him that like I could do this. So episode 149 is that, if you want some help with getting your spouse on board. And then biggest question I get is, what about insurance and benefits? I go in depth on that in episode 152. Again, that's the Virtual Assistant Mama Podcast. You can find it on any podcast platform. All right, y'all. It is time to say yes. It is time to ditch your 9 to 5 for good. Go to virtualassistantmama.com. I'll drop the link as soon as I hop off. I'll drop the link in the comments on the workshop. Go check it out. Show it to your spouse. I'll also be sending an email out right after this with the replay link, and then also just like a link to the slides. That way, if you want to show your spouse, they don't have to sit through this whole workshop. You can just show them the slides and talk through it. Reminder, this program includes a 10-step self-paced program. Do it on your own time, video lessons and workbooks, templates for your portfolio, your contract, pitching to jobs, and more. Bonuses added over time, weekly office hours to answer your questions, the private student community, and the Land Your First Client Challenge to help you make back your investment ASAP. You have everything you need in this program. You just have to believe in yourself and take that next step to say yes. Now, told y'all we'll be doing a giveaway. The giveaway is actually going to happen tomorrow, and I'll be sharing 2 awesome things that I have for our giveaway winner. So I just want to give everybody who hasn't watched live the chance to get some entries in. So I'll be going live for that giveaway tomorrow. I don't have a set time because I'm doing it at my kiddo's nap time. But you don't have to be on live to win or anything, but you just, I'll tag you, whoever the winner is. But I'll also be showing a sneak peek into what it's like when you join Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. So you can see that there as well. All right. I just want to go ahead and close us out in a quick prayer. If you're open to that, if not, it's totally fine. But faith is a big part of my business, my life, and I know it is for so many of y'all. So I'm just going to go ahead and close us out in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you so much for bringing these amazing women into this workshop and just allowing them to dream for a moment, to see what their life could be, and to just believe that the dreams that you've placed on their heart can absolutely come true. God, I just pray that you would encourage them to take a step of faith, and that if this is the right fit for them, if they're just feeling called to take that next step, that you would give them the courage to do so. We know it's scary, Lord. I know it's scary. I've done it before. And I just pray that you would give them that hug and give them that little bit of a push if they need it. I just want to thank you, Lord, for pouring into these women throughout this workshop, allowing me to encourage them and just show them what you have for them. Father, we love you so incredibly much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into the workshop. I'll be going back in and answering any questions, whether you're in the Facebook group, I'll answer your questions in the comments, or if you're watching on YouTube or the podcast or whatever, you can send me an email, ariana@arianavernier.com, or shoot me a DM on Instagram at ariana.vernier. And yeah, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I want to make sure this is a good fit for you. I'll be honest if I think it's not. I don't want you to waste your money. Okay. But I know that you can do this if it's on your heart. I absolutely know you can. You just have to take that leap, invest in yourself, invest in your dreams. I promise it's worth it. And if you put in the work, you're going to make that investment, and then it's all profit from there. It's totally possible for you. You got this. I love y'all so much. Thank you for taking some time with me tonight, and I will talk to you so soon.